Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's video. It's going to be a fun one. We are doing a day in the life of our homeschool, which I have not really done too many of these on my channel. I don't always like to share my kids too much on my channel, but I found some ways to do it. And so I just wanted to welcome you quickly to the video because it's actually after our homeschool day. I've completed it and it worked well enough, so I am actually going to share it with you. Just to video a bit about what I'm always talking about, which is usually our schedule and our curriculum and things like that, so you can see inside of our day a little bit. And so I hope you guys find this fun. I hope this is an entertaining type video, and feel free to ask any questions down below from what you see of what I share. So let me flip the camera around and I will start you at the beginning of our day. So you can see here, we always start our day off with math. That's just always been our schedule. It really works well for my kids. I feel like it just kind of warms them up. Neither of them like hate math or anything like that. So it's definitely not tears. It's just part of our normal routine that after breakfast at about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, we start math. And as most of you know, we use Saxon Math. And so we always start out with our warm-ups where we do the calendar, we do counting, different things like that. And so I'm set up here with my daughter, my 7-year-old, and we're going through her math. We're doing all the counting and things, and then we're going to go into her lesson. Here's families with boys. Do you know any families that just have boys? Or just girls? What about Mary?
Mary, yeah.
And grandmas have just sisters, so they were a family of only girls. Mommy was a family of only girls.
That's a lot of girls.
We use the whiteboard quite a bit during math, and that's just really helpful. And then once we finish what we're doing, she'll transition to the work, which you can see that is right there on her desk in her work binder, which I have a whole video about the way I have set up our work binders. She typically starts with her flashcards. She has yellow flashcards in this clip, and she'll do her flashcards first, then she will work on her fact sheet as well as her math worksheet. And that And as she's starting to do that, I will switch to her brother. And you'll see that in this next clip here. And while I'm starting to work with him, she is finishing her sheets as well as doing her handwriting sheet. And then the twins, this is the time when I'm never quite sure what they're doing. Usually they're playing with each other, or I have the big kids playing with them. And that works out really pretty well. This is really the only time in the day where they have to free play without too much supervision. And so yes, our first segment of our day is math. I feel like it really works well to start with a table subject. And then once I get my son started on his math sheets and his independent work, I switch to the twins. So it works really well for my time and how I flow from thing to thing as I teach math, then the big kids do their independent work, and then I switch to preschool work, which you'll see in this next clip. One day, little Sal went with her mother to Blueberry Hill to pick blueberries. Little Sal brought along her small tin pail, and her mother brought her large tin pail to put blueberries in. "We will take our berries home and can them," said her mother. "Then we will have food for the winter." Okay, so you can see here I moved over to the couch with the twins, and so like I said, my big kids are working on their math sheets, their independent work over in the schoolroom, so I kind of keep them a little separate. So I work with the twins over here. And so the first thing I do with my twins is Sonlight. And the reason is I prioritize the reading aloud to them over the phonics. At these ages, I just want to keep our homeschool really fun. And so we do a lot of the read alouds. In this case, we did Blueberries for Sal, which is a favorite of mine, and they really enjoyed it. And that was our main book for this day. Sometimes we have 2 stories. A lot of times we just have 1, but we just kind of work our way through it. I somewhat follow the schedule for the Sonlight preschool program, which is the 3-4 program, which so far we're really loving. Again, we pretty much only use it for the book list and that schedule, not so much the other stuff, because I use that for Abeka, which you'll see in this next clip. Once we finish out reading, I'll transition to that. Okay, you're first. Ready? I says it like inchworm. U says, it says Good. What does E say? E says Good job. Not but Good. For elephant, right? What does A say? I know 7-year-old. For apple, right? What's O say? Good job. For ostrich. Okay, let's go over a couple of these that we know. Ready? All right, so now we have moved into our Abeka K4 phonics time of the day. So this is after we've read our Sonlight, and we go through a lot of these charts and flashcards. We're very much in the vowel sounds section of the program. Like I said, K4. I do have a whole review video about just different resources and things we use for Abeka K4. So far, I'm really liking it, and the twins are doing really well. And I'll try and leave some of their responses in here because they can be quite cute. But we don't spend very much time at all on this stuff, but I try to do it kind of daily to just keep a good routine for them, but not to push them too much. So this is us finishing up preschool, and about this time, my big kids are pretty much done with their independent work, and we will transition into our snack time as well as read aloud time. Chapter 33 is Jesus obeyed God. Do you remember the name of the first man God made? Everything around them was beautiful and they were very happy until the day they disobeyed God. Why did they disobey God?
Satan maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He tricked Eve into eating the bad fruit. Adam eats some too.
I know, it's true. Exactly, that's what this says. It says God has an enemy, and Satan is God's enemy.
Mommy, why you being bad? Yeah.
Jesus doesn't like you. Satan likes you being bad, not Jesus. Okay, guys, this is hands down my favorite time of the day. It's also safe to say it's a favorite for my kids. They just love being read to, and this is the entire crew. So both my bigger kids as well as my twins. And here's a haiku. You remember haikus are pretty fun. Don't touch that, buddy. It says, frantic sandpiper, high tides erasing her footnotes. Haikus never make any sense to me. Okay. All right, we're going to do this one because yesterday when we were reading a book about do you remember the people who invented the alphabet? Do you remember what they were called? Do you remember their names? It's okay if you don't. I'm just wondering if you do.
The Emorites.
Emorites? No. How about the Phoenicians? Do you remember the Phoenicians and their alphabet?
Oh.
How many letters do you remember? Because we have 26 letters in our alphabet.
42.
How about 22? You big goofball. Okay. So this is Phoenicians, it says here. We are doing Sonlight HBLB. We always start with the Bible. I used to do Bible over breakfast, but I've just found that I put it all into this time of our day around snack time. I would say it feels kind of like that idea of a morning basket this time in our day, but it's not really the morning. We've already done quite a bit of homeschool by this point, but it's a perfect break. Like they have been working hard on their worksheets or on their vowel sounds if it's the twins, and it's time just to kind of listen and chat and do a lot of discussion, which is what I love about Sonlight. So like I said, we start with Bible, and then we will move into our memory, our scripture memory, as well as science and history, and those two we will typically do more discussion, try and do a little bit of narration, mostly for my sake, so I know that they're listening and understanding, and it often results in really good conversations. So you can see us here, we're all around the table, and they have their snack, and I am reading out loud to them. So this, again, is just such a favorite part of my day. So now my twins have entered quiet time. They typically do that after we do all of our reading. They've had their snack. They go pick out their activity and they go into quiet time. Sometimes it's together. Most of the time it's separated. Just depends. And that is when I transition the big kids into the language arts section of our day. And they both do slightly different things, but we pretty much have a very similar schedule. So we start with our Abeka. So my daughter here is doing Abeka grade 1. Even though she's in 2nd grade, it just fits where she's at currently. And then we also do her reading. And I have recently started doing spelling UC, although that's not a part of this video because I just switched over. But you can see here we do mostly working through the different charts. And maybe I'll make a separate video on how we use Abeka Phonics. Maybe a do a lesson with us or something like that, because I have really seen amazing results with the way Abeka teaches phonics. And so we will go through all of our charts and then start doing our new material, and then we will move to the board where we do a lot of our circling the special sounds, a lot of the language stuff where we're working on like syllables or different things like that. A lot of that is on the board, and so I like the fact that my whiteboard is just right behind me. And at this point my son might be doing his typing, but a lot of times he's not doing anything. He might be downstairs playing with Legos while I'm working with his sister, and then she will start to work on her Abeka worksheets while I transition to working with him. Okay, so you can see that I have switched to my son, and I forgot that we had actually started our spelling UC. I think we started it like maybe the day before I recorded this, but I started with my son first, and then since then we have picked up spelling UC with my daughter. But so far so good. Spelling has been a little bit of a challenge this year, but if you've been following my channel, you know that. But anyway, this is his language arts where we're doing Abeka, spelling UC, and then reading, and you can see on his desk there that the book is The Sword in the Tree, which is one of the readers from Sonlight. We are not using the readers from Abeka because I just really like the Sonlight readers. And then that brings me to the point of Sonlight Language Arts. Yes, we're doing it. I did not get a clip of that. I'm not quite sure why, but what we typically do with our Sonlight Language Arts is that is what happens after lunch. So depending on the day, if it's a day that I take the twins to preschool, then we come home and we do all the writing stuff. We'll do the copywork. We'll do the copywork application. Sometimes we won't do the application, but mostly we'll do copywork and then the creative expression writing, which is really, really fun, and we've enjoyed it a lot. And so that's typically how we end our day. You can see I've really set it up in 3 big blocks. It's really like the math preschool block, the middle block where we're doing all of our reading out loud, and then this 3rd block where we're doing language arts. So that's a bit of a day in our homeschool. Okay guys, I hope that was fun to see. I hope I was able to give you a clear enough picture of our day and how it goes and what my kids are learning. Sorry, my camera's a little unsteady. But yeah, let me know down below if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas or anything. I'm always open to hear what you guys have to say. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for the day. And if you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel if you want to. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next homeschool video. All right, take care.